Sunday morning, my brother and I went two different directions. I needed to run over to Newcomerstown to look at an engine for my dump truck. I've got an old International S1900 sitting out back that lost an engine about a year or so ago, and it's been parked ever since. Probably because I turned the injection pump up too far. That's my fault. Anyway, while I was over looking at this engine, my brother Jeremy went up to the farm to check on my mom and dad. He stops there every day to check on them and make sure they've got firewood or anything else they might need. Dad has been busy down in the shop working on an old John Deere of his, a John Deere A. He just got it running. Meanwhile, I make it back to the shop with this DT466 for the dump truck, and I go in to check on Vicki and see how she's doing in the shop. She's in there working in the shipping office.
I was looking for you.
What?
Look at this. I'm at Kroger and he sends me a video and boom, old engine is out. Out. Gone.
It's not gone, it's right there.
Yeah, but gone from my truck. Look at all that room. That is the most room I've ever seen for when you guys are doing a swap and it's always so tight and how are we gonna fit? Look at this. There's plenty of room for activities.
Old Kenny Powers had been busy while I was gone. I had no idea he was going to be there this morning to pull that engine and transmission out. I knew that he pulled the hood off the day before, but he surprised me. When I got back, he had the engine and transmission, bell housing, and everything pulled out, and he's already starting to clean up the frame so he can get busy painting. About that time, Jeremy showed up down at my house to help me unload that DT466. He figured he'd help me after he gets done drinking his coffee. In reality, I think he just needed to go in and get warmed up. Jeremy's pretty thin. He doesn't have much insulation. He started giving me some trouble about crashing that drone down at Gina Rose's house. And I said it's junk, it's done, and he said, nah, I'll fix it. And I'll be damned if he didn't. So while he's in there working on that drone, me and Kenny loaded up that 6-cylinder to get it out of the shop, along with the bell housing, the clutch, transmission, and everything else. I took it out back and stored it under the lean-to, and then used the John Deere to move the merchandise trailer around back. We had already unloaded all the merch, and Vicki was inside folding shirts. While she's in there working on that, Mr. Kenny is busy grinding on that frame with a wire wheel. He's determined to get the frame painted today. Kenny decided to go ahead and pull the stock frame mounts out of the frame because we've got these nice chrome ones to use, and he's going to put those on after we get the frame painted. And then all of a sudden, Scrappy shows up. Well, that can only mean one thing. Allison's here. She brought Scrappy to see her papaw. Allison decided to come over and help fold shirts with Harley and her family while Kenny works on the truck. Once Allison and Harley showed up to fold shirts, that freed up Miss Vicki to go in and work on dinner. She's preparing a meal tonight for everybody that's coming over to watch the Super Bowl, and a few treats. By this time, Kenny's got most of the frame cleaned up, and now he's starting to work on the outside of the frame rails. So he puts the old truck up on the lift and pulls the front wheels off so he can start degreasing the control arms and the outside of the frame. What's the problem, Squirrely?
Allison has a little process that the shirt folding, it takes up less space, so then we can put twice as many stacks on our shelf.
I told you you should wait for the kids.
She got excited.
I know she did.
Well, see, my way and her way.
And her way is much better.
Yeah,
I told you should wait.
Then you can put 2 stacks.
I know, you got in a hurry.
Well, you know what? Going forward.
Kenny Powers, have you made progress?
Made a lot of progress today.
Show me what you did. Holy shit, this is painted? Holy crap!
Just waiting on you to get a transmission now.
Kenny freaking Powers. Even in the wheel wells? Holy crap. Let's go around here to the other side. I can't hardly see over here. It's too dark. Wow. That looks really good. Now we can start working on the inner fenders and the firewall.
Tomorrow's project.
Very good. Monday morning, despite the cold temperatures, I needed to get up and get going early, and the dogs made sure I got out the door as quick as possible. I needed to get that DT466 unloaded, so I went out and fired up the skid steer, pulled it out of the shed, and let it warm up. Then I called down to Bowman Goodyear and said, hey, I got a problem. I got a flat spotted tire on this trailer. So they told me to go ahead and bring the trailer down. Good deal. I went in, fired up the lights, turned up the heat, and Uncle Bucko rolls in at just the right time, because I still haven't got that DT466 unloaded. So he's going to help me do it this morning. We didn't get it done yesterday. So I run the forks up in this skid underneath this DT466 and lift it up off the truck and go to put it in the shed under the watchful eye of my two four-legged supervisors who never let me leave their sight. Once I got that engine put away, I fired up the dually and let it warm up for a few minutes so we could hook up that trailer so I can take it down to Bowman Goodyear and get this one tire replaced. Based on the number of orders I keep getting for merch, I'm probably going to have to use this trailer the next 2 weekends to haul merchandise back from Gina's. All right, I'm taking that trailer down to Bowman Goodyear's because I have spotted the flat spotted tire.
Good. Because I don't want to listen to you grumble.
Oh my God, it was
Always.
terrible.
All right, so if you're going that way, I kind of need you to run an errand for me. I have some Valentine cookies to give to some
Oh,
of ours.
good grief. So after receiving my marching orders, me and the two turd barrels load up in the dually and head to Hebron with that trailer. Notice how Scrappy nonchalantly tries to stick her nose in the cookie bag. Like I'm not gonna notice. Anyway, we drop the trailer off down at Bowman Goodyear, and while I'm out making cookie deliveries, Kenny and Jeremy are hard at work back at the shop trying to get this crossmember removed from the frame. The older C10s had a crossmember under the bell housing, much like the 55 Chevy has. Only we're not going to use it anymore once we put the automatic in. So, Jeremy breaks out the plasma cutter and starts cutting this crossmember out, and Kenny shows up just in time to help him finish it up. Once they got the crossmember out, Kenny starts working on putting the new shocks on the front of the truck, and I go in to check on Miss Harley and see how she's doing. She's in there working on shipping and answering emails in the office. The girls have done an incredible job getting all these shirts folded, and most of them put away. The last time I looked, there was over 1,600 orders, so I hope everybody can remain patient while the girls get caught up. None of us had any idea there would be this many orders immediately. Anyway, while they're down there working on that, I take the dogs down to see Mark at A1. We've been working on trying to match the paint code on this truck, and I just so happened to find the paint code in the glove box. So I take it in to show Mark.
Right to the box. What's up?
They know where it's at.
Dude, they do. They know where it's at. What's happening, you two? It's been a while since I've seen both of you together. What's going on?
Scrappy's been hanging out at Tommy's house a
Has
little
he?
bit. Yeah, so she
Really?
hasn't been with me so much here lately.
Well, you know, that's all right.
Everybody's having Scrappy withdrawal.
Yeah, everybody is having scrappy withdrawal. Can't believe your trip. That was
It's ridiculous.
That was something, Bill. It's only you
I got to go get the trailer. They just fixed the trailers. It had a flat spotted tire on it.
on one.
Yeah.
We had a spare, good spare.
Don't get me started. So while Mark works on my paint code, Scrappy gets caught up on her belly rubs before we head over to Bowman's to pick up the trailer. I was pleasantly surprised when I walked up to the trailer that the tire actually matches the other three. That's a plus. I always hate having one tire that doesn't match the rest. Anyway, me and the dogs head back to the shop with the trailer, and Jeremy has finally gotten started on the floor pans on the passenger side of the truck, and he's located a patch repair panel for the dash. I had ordered it from LMC. Jeremy and I are hoping that the dash repair panel fits better than the floor pans we've been fighting. So while Jeremy works on that, Mr. Kenny has already started working on the inner fenders to start painting them in the firewall, and Miss Vicky's barking orders at me out in the shipping office.
play janitor, please?
So I take the trash out for Vicki and come back in and film Kenny as he's working on cleaning up the firewall and the inner fenders and prepping everything for paint. He uses this stuff that Mark got him called Prep All to wipe all the oil and grease off all the painted surfaces before he starts masking everything off. Kenny's a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to painting and masking. He leaves no stone unturned, and he doesn't want to get any overspray on Vicki's brand new chrome bumper or her new chrome grille. All right, guys, welcome back. So, as you've seen, we've made a considerable amount of progress in the last 2 days out here in the shop. News update. So, I had originally intended to leave the 3-speed on the column in the truck. I was 100% gonna stay with it for right now at least. And Vicki threw me a curveball. She's like, nah, I think while the engine's out, now's a good time to just put an automatic in it. So, I would really like to have an overdrive, and I had originally intended to maybe go to a 4L80E somewhere down the line. But an 80E and a controller and all that's just kind of out of the budget. So, I did some snooping around, and lo and behold, one of my buddies, old Colton Graham from Columbus, has a couple of 700 R4s. One of them was out of a V8 full-size pickup truck. So he says the transmission worked good when he pulled it out. It's been sitting for 2 or 3 years. That's not going to hurt it as far as I'm concerned. Still got the converter shoved in the nose of it. So I am going to go in tomorrow and pick up a 700 R4 transmission and bring it back here and stick it in the C10. Now, it's just a stock transmission. And that should be fine. I've got some background working on 700 R4 transmissions. I just put one in Billy's Malibu, and Billy's S10 originally had one in it when we originally V8'd the truck. So I've got some background with them. I'm accustomed to working on the TV cable and all that. And in high horsepower applications, it's not the thing to do. But I think in this case, I think it's going to be fine. It's just a stock 350. We're not trying to set the world on fire or anything, so I think it's going to be okay. And it's going to be really nice to have overdrive when we want to go to Columbus or we want to get on the interstate or go out of town in it. We'll be able to just cruise in overdrive. And with the 373 gear that's in the rear end of it, it should be a pretty nice ride. So that brings me to the next thing I'd like to talk about tonight. Brakes. This thing still has all the original drum brakes, and while they are new and they are functioning, I would like to do some upgrades. So I called Speedway Motors today, and Speedway offers a kit to put disc brakes on the front of this truck, and you don't have to change the front spindles. The front drum brake spindles are reused, and they have a set of brackets that bolt to the original spindle, and then you bolt your calipers to these brackets. So that's a really good idea for me because I don't like messing with coil springs and ball joints and all that. And I think everything's okay in the front end of it. It don't have hardly any miles on it. But at least for right now, I would like to retain the original spindles. The only thing is, the kit comes with the rotors, the calipers, the pads, the spindle brackets, and the master cylinder and the power brake booster to swap it over to power brakes, and the proportioning valve. The problem is that the kit swaps from 6-lug, stock 6-lug, to Chevrolet 5 on 4 3/4 bolt pattern, which is really nice, which I like. But that leaves the back with 6-lug, and then the front won't have the same wheels. So I start digging down this rabbit hole today about I wanted to leave stock 15-inch wheels on this truck because I've already ordered brand new Chevrolet bow tie center caps. Some old, I think from back in the 50s. They're really nice looking center caps. So Vicki wants to keep green wheels on it. We want to retain stock GM style hubcaps. I go down this rabbit hole today and find out that anything and everything that is anything like that that'll use a stock hubcap is back ordered or you can't find them. So once again, I call my buddy Colton because I know he's wheeling and dealing in cars and he's got so many wheels and tires over there. And sure enough, Colton has a set of 15 by 6 front wheels and 15 by 10 rears. So this thing is going to have some junk in her trunk. It's going to have 15 by 10 rear wheels with a 4.5-inch offset, deep dish, stock steel wheels with a GM bow tie hubcap stuffed way back in the wheel. It's going to look sick. So I went ahead and called Jegs today, and they've got some 275 6015 radials that I'm going to pick up maybe tomorrow. And I'm going to get these wheels off Colton and that and that 700R4 and bring all that stuff back. And we're going to go ahead and paint the wheels green to match the truck, which is why I was down at Mark's today getting the paint code dealt with, because we're having a little bit of trouble trying to match this color. It's faded, and using the camera on it got it close, but not quite. So we're trying the best we can to match the paint, match the patina as best we can. And so Mark's helping us with that. So tomorrow I'm hoping to go get that 700R4 and the set of wheels, and we can come back here and prep the wheels, get them painted, and probably go ahead and get tires mounted on them so that later in the week when this disc brake kit shows up, we can go ahead and swap out the front brakes, get rid of this single bale master cylinder and this rat's nest of brake lines that are in here. And Mr. Kenny has definitely done a nice job painting all this stuff. Now keep in mind, this is not a restoration, right? We're not trying to restore this truck. We're trying to preserve it and just make it look presentable. It's just going to be a driver, a daily driver. It's going to get dirty. You know, it's going to get messed up here and there, and that's fine. We're just trying to make a nice, clean, presentable daily driver shop truck to take to cruise-ins and car shows and things like that, just to hang out and run around in. No big deal. Just trying to make it look presentable. So Kenny scuffed everything and shot it semi-gloss today, and it came out pretty decent. And hopefully tomorrow we can start maybe putting this engine down in it. I just need a transmission. Once we get the engine and transmission down in the truck, we're going to have to modify the Crossmember to work with the 700R4. So Jeremy will help me with that. Then I got to take the drive shaft back to the drive shaft shop. I just had it redone, which is no big deal. All they got to do is cut, I think, 3 inches out of the front part of the drive shaft to shorten it up to fit with a 700R4. So this week we're going to be busy. Probably going to have the engine down in it, I hope, by the end of the week. We'll start mocking everything up, get the Crossmember made, whatever we got to do there, get the drive shaft shortened. And I think the headers are going to fit. I had a set of nice ceramic coated headers on this engine, and we took them off when we put it on the run stand. I didn't think they were going to fit, but it looks like they will fit. So if they do fit, we're going to go ahead and use these ceramic coated headers, and it'll look really nice. It should run really good. And then Lucor Automotive is going to put exhaust on it for me once we get that far. But we got a ways to go before we get there. So appreciate everybody watching, liking, sharing, subscribing. If you want to order merchandise, go to theoldmansgarage.shop. Theoldmansgarage.shop. Guys, be patient with us. We had no idea we would get almost 1,600 orders overnight. It seems like overnight. The first batch of orders are here. They started shipping out today, and we're going to be shipping every day this week. And then Friday, I'm probably headed back to Gina Rose's down in Kentucky to haul another load of merchandise back up here for the girls. So thank you all for watching. Love you all. See you tomorrow.